The price of Bitcoin is down. Come on, man. What? Can I talk to the manager, please? I was promised up only, and the price is going down. I want a refund. Bitcoin. Come on, man. We'll be talking about that in today's video. Also, a big bank has bought a truckload of Bitcoin, and we'll be talking a little bit about NFTs and just the craziness that is going on in the NFT market right now. My name's Lark. Every day I make videos talking about cryptocurrency investing, so if that's a topic that you would like to learn some more about, make sure you subscribe to the Lark Davis channel, gently tap on the thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm, and click on the notification bell to know when I put out a new video. Now let's go ahead and turn over to the charts to get started off with here today. So Bitcoin, as we were discussing the other day, has been rejected from $50,000. That was obviously a very, very important area for Bitcoin. Those big round numbers psychologically are tricky areas for price to easily overcome. Previous all-time highs tend to be like that. Big round numbers, 40, 50, 60, also tend to be, I'm sure 100K will also be a similar kind of situation when we get up there one of these days. And yes, that is still coming. But you can see right back here, I mean, look at this. Look at how 50K has been such an important area for Bitcoin here. So we can see it here and here and right around there. It's just, here we are again, 50K, rejected. Now the price currently has come back down, bounced off of the 200-day moving average. Now, as we've discussed many times on this channel, that is the bull bear line. Right now, bulls still in the driver's seat. They were able to step up the buying pressure here at the time of recording this video. We are going into the weekend, though. The weekends can be lower volume times overall. So watch out for a bit of turbulence over the weekend, we could say. But at the time of recording the video, the bulls were trying to step up the pressure here to save the 200-day simple moving average. That being said, I really feel like it's time that we get some decent retests here. I feel like the momentum has kind of been stalling out a little bit here. And once we hit 50K, that was kind of the turning point here for Bitcoin. Now we are still, of course, holding above the 200-day moving average right now. But if we lose that, where do you want to watch? Where do you want to get your orders in for Bitcoin? Well, down here at $42,500, you can see here and here, it's been very, very important area of price resistance previously. If we flip that into support, that would be very nice to see. We can also actually have a quick look here on the weekly because there's one very important thing as well, which we can just pop on here real quick, and that is the 20-week simple moving average. Oh, and would you look at that? If we came back down to retest 20-week simple moving average, where would that be in terms of support? Oh, it would happen to be right there around $42,500. So that's pretty interesting, don't you think? Now, if we do fall beyond that, the next best area to be looking for grabbing some Bitcoin would, of course, be down in this area here, which basically goes from $40,000, assuming that if we did have a sort of a bigger sell-off event, we could see it briefly dipping under that to the $39,000 or even $38,000 region. Right now, of course, we don't have to worry about that because we are still holding the 200-day moving average. But if we lose that, those should be the areas that you should be watching as they are previous areas or zones of important Bitcoin price support. We are also, of course, continuing our downtrend here on the RSI. The peaks just keep moving lower. Likely to have another lower peak here whenever we do see a bit of a price reversal coming in. So the relative strength of the market is continuing to falter. Essentially, the higher the price pushes, the less commitment there is from buyers. Sellers, obviously, we were talking about that the other day. We still see a lot of buyers coming in from the whale accounts and from the smaller addresses, but we've had mid-sized accounts taking profits up in this region, but not enough sellers are not enough buyers are stepping up in high enough levels to really get the price pushing up. At least not yet. Maybe we need a bigger catalyst coming to really see that pushing off. Now, by the way, if we do get Bitcoin pulling back even further, so if we do, then let's say down here, that would be 15% to come back, 16% actually, from the all-time, well, from the recent high down to $42,500. And if we come back down to the $40,000 zone, that's actually a 20% correction, which, as you should know, is totally freaking normal and healthy for crypto to do. Those kind of pullbacks happen all the time. I'm actually surprised there hasn't been a bigger pullback yet in this run up for Bitcoin that we've been having recently. So if that happens, I will be adding to my Bitcoin position, and I think I'll be shopping for some altcoins in that scenario. I think getting some Terra Luna around 20 bucks, maybe some Polkadot around 19 bucks. Those could be some juicy buys. I'll be keeping an eye out for those, because if Bitcoin goes down, you know what happens. When the big boy throws up, the rest of the market gets covered in vomit. Crypto, man. By the way, if you want to trade some cryptocurrencies, maybe you want to trade some Bitcoin, maybe you want to trade some Ethereum, maybe you want to trade some Dogecoin, man. You can long, you can short over on Bybit. It is the best futures exchange in the market. You can even trade spot markets over here with 0% fees. Use the link down below in the description to start your account, and you get up to $600 in trading bonuses. Now let's talk about this bank that has bought a truckload of Bitcoin, well, particularly Grayscale Bitcoin Trust shares. So Morgan Stanley has loaded up on $240 million worth of Grayscale Bitcoin shares. That is a heck of a lot of Bitcoin, man. Because you have to remember, all of those shares are currently trading at a discount to the real price of the Bitcoin that is held by the trust. Pretty damn big move, though. That's our biggest Bitcoin purchase in a while. And yeah, I know it's Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, so it's not like they went to Coinbase and bought a few thousand Bitcoin. That would have been really cool too. But still, this is a pretty damn big deal. But pretty damn cool, nevertheless, to see a really, really big Bitcoin investment from a really big bank. You know, screw banks, but still, it shows that there is still a strong institutional investor appetite for crypto. It hasn't gone away. It hasn't disappeared. Those big money investors, they're still here. They're still buying Bitcoin. Yeah, they're buying Ethereum too. Yeah, they're buying some other stuff as well. But the interest in Bitcoin remains very, very strong from these big money players. The institutional players have not lost their appetite for Bitcoin. They're still hungry for it, which is awesome to see, obviously. Just wanted to mention that news real quick. And let's talk now about NFTs, man, because they've been going crazy. As I'm sure you've noticed, we've been talking about this in the newsletter over the last few weeks, talking about some of the interesting collections to be keeping an eye on. Most of the collections we've talked about in the newsletter have gone up dramatically. Art Blocks was one of them. And it's one of those things, you know, the Art Blocks was up a lot at the time we started talking about it a few weeks ago in the newsletter, and it's just gone up a lot more since then. We've seen some of their premier collections just exploding in valuation. It's been absolutely freaking nuts over the last few weeks. We're now seeing NFTs regularly selling for millions of dollars a piece. We're seeing CryptoPunks that are selling, I think the floor price on CryptoPunks right now is around $250,000 a piece. We're seeing the top tier CryptoPunks selling for millions of dollars on a regular basis. It's pretty damn crazy. This one right here, this just sold, this NFT, this piece of art, just sold for $3.3 million. Now you might be thinking, man, that's crazy. Who the heck paid $3.3 million for a damn JPEG, man? Well, the same people who pay $3.3 million or $100 million for a piece of canvas with some oil on it. Same kind of thing. We're seeing a revolution here in art. This is the new form of art. This is a generative art piece. So it's not a one-for-one piece sketched out by an artist or anything like that. This is a generative art piece, which has been made over here on Art Blocks. So there's a big collection of similar but different items. Each one's unique, obviously. But man, it's just incredible to see how much money is going around in the NFT space right now. There's been a lot of money to be made from getting into these collections early. In fact, there was a guy, I'm not sure if it was this particular piece or another piece, but there was a guy who 2 months ago bought a piece from this particular collection for 1 Ethereum, so around $3,000, flipped it for a couple million bucks. 2 months later. That's nuts. That is totally nuts. That is totally nuts. In fact, here's a 12-year-old kid who is getting hilariously rich on NFTs. It's totally nuts. This kid has made over $400,000 with NFTs so far. It's pretty damn crazy when you think about it. Everyone's getting hilariously rich on NFTs right now, guys, which of course is a very much euphoria moment in the NFT market. We could see some dramatic decreases in valuations, but right now everybody's still going crazy for them. People are spending unbelievable sums of money on NFTs right now. And I understand why, because we have unique collectibles that are going to hold value. Everyone's spending all their lives online right now. 20, 30 years ago, I had magic cards, and I'd flip magic cards and trade magic cards with people. And those had value. Unique cards, rare cards. Look at the Black Lotus, right? It's now worth hundreds of thousands of dollars 30 years later or whatever. And we see other cards like Pokemon's Charizards, which is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars some years later. And so we see these collectibles coming up in the digital space. And of course they're getting crazy valuations. Remember, there's only 10,000 CryptoPunks ever. You want to talk about digital scarcity with Bitcoin? Oh, there's only 21 million Bitcoin. Yeah, well, there's only 10,000 CryptoPunks. Holy cow, it's no wonder they're trading for $250,000 a piece right now. A CryptoPunk's worth, 6 Bitcoin at the moment? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy to see how fast these valuations have moved on these items, but they're incredibly scarce. And so, look, if you are wanting to get into the NFT space right now, my thoughts on it and how I'm approaching it as an investor, I'm primarily looking at NFTs for collecting. Flipping, yeah, maybe if you get in early on something new that's just come out, a new collection's been released by an artist, or you see some new avatars being released, get in, grab some on the cheap, try to flip them. That's cool, man. But I'm looking to get really nice pieces as collector's items, right? I want to get some nice art blocks pieces and some of these other really high value NFTs that I think in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years time are going to maintain their value because they're these early edition art pieces or early edition collectibles that are going to go on to be worth massive valuations in the same way that any early collectibles are. And of course, art always in the eye of the beholder, what is good art or not good art, but generally, when I look at NFTs, I look at things that I like. Even if I'm flipping NFTs, I still like to look at NFTs that I actually like. So I've missed out on some massive NFT returns by looking at collections early and going, you know what? I just don't really like those. So I passed on them. And that's okay. That's okay. There's plenty of areas to make gains in the NFT market or anywhere else. And look, if you are playing in the NFT market, understand that liquidity is low for a lot of these things, that the market can dry up real fast. So if you are playing with NFTs, only put in money you can afford to lose, obviously, and only buy things that you like. And that's my thing anyway. Because if you're stuck with the NFTs, you can't sell them to anybody for the price that you bought them for or more, then at least you have something you like. So that's something, isn't it? But man, the NFT market's been totally nuts. I'm going to do a more comprehensive video on NFTs and NFT investing for you guys soon. Sometime next week, I'll get that out for you. So stay tuned for that. But I just wanted to talk about how crazy the NFT market's been recently with these multi-million-dollar valuations for JPEGs. I love it. I love it. Crypto's so crazy, man. NFTs are crazy. I just love it. It's just pushing the boundaries of what we understand to have value. And it's awesome. It's totally awesome. Anyway, just my 2 Satoshis for the day. Your question for today: do you own any NFTs? And if so, what NFTs do you own? Be curious to know down below. And if you don't own any NFTs, why not? Why don't you own any NFTs? Curious also to hear that down below. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and peace out till next time.